Greetings, Wildcat fans. I'm Larry. My Catnips partner Bob is on assignment this week deep in the Australian outback. This is Catnips, and it is the conclusion of the 2015 regular season. As you know, Northwestern wrapped up its regular season by defeating the University of Illinois Fighting Illini 24-14 at Soldier Field. The win was Northwestern's 10th this season, putting 2015 in a very select group, along with 1903, 1995, and 2012 as 10-win seasons for the Wildcats. The Wildcats, of course, with their upcoming bowl, have the opportunity to become the only 11-win team in the history of NU. The win over Illinois, of course, also gave the Wildcats back the Land of Lincoln trophy.
Get that hat back in our trophy case.
Claim the Land of Lincoln trophy.
Northwestern has reclaimed the metal headgear that would have saved our 16th president. So in the game against the Illini, Illinois jumped out to a 7-0 lead early in the first quarter, but Northwestern fired back very quickly. Clayton Thorson hit Austin Carr for a 48-yard pass, and that was followed up very quickly by a pass to Dan Vitale for the touchdown and the game-tying score. On its next drive, Northwestern started with great field position, but went nowhere and had to punt. However, Illinois jumped the shield for the punting formation, and Northwestern kept the ball. Justin Jackson and Warren Long then made short work of the field, and Northwestern took a 14-7 lead. Northwestern went into half with a 21-7 lead, but the Illini were able to make it a game with a quick pick six.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
However, Northwestern was able to tack on a field goal, and they held off the Illini to win the game 24-14 and to take their 10th victory. So Purple Fists of Justice for this week. We have several Purple Fists of Justice from the Illini game. Number one goes to Matt Harris. Matt Harris had 5 tackles, and he also had a critical interception in the fourth quarter. So congratulations, Matt Harris. The second Purple Fist of Justice for the Illini game goes, of course, to Fist favorite Justin Jackson.
Jackson burst through to the end zone. Touchdown, Northwestern. Justin Jackson, who sticks the landing in the end zone.
Justin Jackson, the ball carrier, went for 174 yards on 37 carries and had yet another explosive game. Congratulations to Justin Jackson. And then we also want to call out for a special Purple Fist of Justice this week, Coach Brown. Jerry Brown has done a fantastic job with the defensive backs. I don't think anyone expected the DBs to do quite as well as they have this season, and so congratulations to Coach Brown.
Hooray for new math, new math. It won't do you a bit of good to review math. It's so simple, so very simple, that only a child can do it.
So bowl math this week, well, there is no bowl math, but it's kind of fun to play the opening montage just to see the Northwestern and Tennessee helmets appear. Obviously, Northwestern is getting ready for its match against the Volunteers in the Outback Bowl on January 1st. This is Northwestern's 12th bowl game ever. It's their 7th January 1st bowl game. And of course, the last time that Northwestern went to the Outback Bowl, it lost an overtime thriller to Auburn 38-35 with one of the wildest plays at the end of the game in Northwestern history. The last time, only time, that Northwestern has faced the University of Tennessee was, of course, the 1997 Citrus Bowl. Big Ten co-champion Northwestern was defeated 48-28 in a game that was not only the swan song for Peyton Manning, it was the swan song for current Northwestern coach Pat Fitzgerald.
A crew from Evanston, Illinois, led by Pat Fitzgerald, the human roadblock, who sets the boundaries. He marks his territory and dares others to cross the line. And Peyton Manning, he knows no boundaries. He's living out his football fantasies with every toss, dreaming of his next assault on the defense.
So against the current SEC lineup of schools, Northwestern all-time has 9 wins, 12 losses, and 1 tie. So this is an opportunity for Northwestern to get its 10th win ever against the SEC. Since the 2010 season, Northwestern is actually 3-1 against the SEC. So this is a chance to go 4-1 in recent years against the SEC conference. And then one other note, maybe a little more trivial note for the upcoming game. This is actually going to be the 15th game ever that Northwestern has played on a Friday. Northwestern's record right now in Friday games, 6 wins, 7 losses, 1 tie. So this could bring us to a record on Fridays. The last time Northwestern played a game on Friday was the Outback Bowl. The last time they were in the Outback Bowl in that 2010 loss to Auburn. The last time Northwestern played a regular season game on a Friday was back in 2007, and that was a Friday game against Eastern Michigan at Ford Field.
When football previews all the task, that's when Bob and Larry ask. Easy time for potables, next game drinks and quotables. In you Wildcat notables, Lake Michigan boatables. A little scotch and sodables, it is time for potables.
I don't think we need an opening montage for potables. Yeah, let's skip that next time. So potables. Bob cannot be here for potables, but he did send me from down under this delightful can of Foster's. Yes, Foster's. Just as the Outback Bowl celebrates all things Australian in a kind of crass commercial sense, so too does Foster's celebrate all things Australian in a ridiculously American commercial sense. So here is to Northwestern, and here is to a wonderful celebration in the Outback Bowl come January 1st. Before I drink this, let me get my Land of Lincoln hat, which I have now refitted for the Outback Bowl and for all things Australian. I'm going to have to Google why they've got the little corks there. Okay, so cheers, and here is to a victory in the Outback Bowl January 1st. So Foster's is a little rough. It has a pretty miserable start. It's a little bit like bathwater. Surprisingly, it finishes quite smooth. And that's much like the Tennessee Volunteers in 2015. They started out quite rough and have had quite the hot hand in the second half of the season. In fact, Tennessee at 8-4 is actually quite a bit similar to Northwestern, particularly in the second half of 2015. Both teams, midway through the season, had Both teams in 2015 had a rather rough start midway through. Both teams lost to a potential national title contender. For Northwestern, that loss came to Iowa. For Tennessee, that loss came to Alabama. Since those losses, both teams have had 5-game winning streaks and come into the Outback Bowl on a rather hot streak. So this is going to be an interesting matchup. For Tennessee, their strength right now lies in their running back and their quarterback combo. Their running back, Jalen Hurd, has over 1,000 yards rushing on the season. He's had a couple of very impressive games toward the end of the season. Their quarterback, Josh Dobbs, is both a running and throwing threat. So it's going to be really interesting to see how Northwestern's very strong defense stacks up against the run and aerial threat coming from the Volunteer offense. The real question for me this game, though, and what may be the pivot point for this game, is the performance of Northwestern's offensive line. If the NU offensive line has a great day in Tampa, that could spell wonderful things for Northwestern. If they can open up the lanes that Justin Jackson, the ball carrier, will need. And if they can give Clayton Thorson some protection, this could be a really wonderful game for Northwestern. No predictions here. The line for this game is Tennessee by 8. Some of Tennessee's online fans think that line should be somewhere closer to 40. 8 seems about right. Again, no prediction here except that if the offensive line has a good day, we should have a good day. And here's to a fantastic performance in the Outback Bowl. Go Cats! And for Catnips, I'm Larry. We will see you after the bowl game.
Want to know one more time, puts us in a spot that our program has never been. And that's not only a legacy, that's a statement about where we are as a program.